guess I'm supposed to say welcome to my YouTube channel or some shit, but either way, I'm whispering because the baby is asleep. And hopefully I can finish recording this before the baby slash toddler wakes up. But yeah, so I live a private life, not one to disclose my personal things, but when God quite literally saves you and gives you a testimony, it would just kind of be a little rude, a little ungrateful to not share how God has blessed you, share how God has provided and protected. So that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to do. I was happily married, really in a committed long-term relationship for about 4 to 5 years, but yes, on paper, legally married. And I was pretty happy. I was content. I won't say happy. I don't think I knew what happiness was truly, but I was content. I was comfortable. But life was getting hectic. The water was getting hot, like very, 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 very hot. And honestly, like, I was really deep in my like law of assumption, law of attraction era, and I was like, yeah, F the 3D, like F the circumstance, like it is what it is. So I just wasn't allowing my circumstances to get the best of me. I was just having faith and doing what needed to be done, and I did a lot of inner work, a lot of healing. A lot is an understatement. A lot of things in regards to trauma, my childhood, my inner child, all that stuff. Like I locked in, and I did this for months by myself with 2 young children, a 5-year-old and almost 2-year-old, almost 6-year-old. All day, every single day, I have them, no help, just me. And for months, I was like doing the inner work. After that happened, it's like my whole perspective on life just changed. Like my whole perspective just changed. I just saw everything through a completely different lens. And it's like things that were built on a false foundation, beliefs built on illusions and limiting beliefs around me just like shattered. It was very much a tower moment. And yeah, like a lot of times I realized that when things are crumbling apart, I was like, is God like mad? Like, why? Like, but God was taking away everything I didn't need and trying to really like get rid of every single distraction so I could just like focus. Like it was imperative that I saw everything around me very clearly. And everything changed. This like forced me into hermit mode. I kind of like do that already, but this time it felt different. Like it felt very biblical, like Job, like very much like wilderness vibes it felt like. And usually when I duck off and I just disappear, because this is the thing that I do, like it's like my infamous disappearing act. People usually think like, oh, I'm just doing whatever, or I'm pregnant or something, but no, just locking in with God. This just ultimately led me to like distancing myself from my soon-to-be ex-husband. And when I say distance, I mean like energetically, like not physically. Like at the time he was still trucking. This is before he got caught drunk on the job with a whole bunch of bottles of alcohol on his truck and lost his job. But at the time he was trucking, and we still talked like almost every day, FaceTime the kids almost every day. Like it was chill, it was nothing weird. I was just really focusing on myself and like learning, healing, growing, evolving. Like that's just what I was on. So when I say I distance myself, I mean like energetically. Wildly enough, it's like the more I like focus all of my energy onto myself and of course my children, it's like God just like unlocked all of my spiritual gifts at once, and I just saw everything so clearly. I just saw through all of the illusions, all of the manipulation, all of the lies, all of it, and I couldn't like unsee it. Like I just couldn't unsee it and just like pretend like I wasn't perceiving the things that I was perceiving. In short, I was like, oh, this is like a karmic cycle. It's like disguised as this end all be all love story thing, but this is a karmic cycle. Like, I'm just supposed to learn from this and like move on. And I was like, dang, that sucks. But I just saw it for what it is. So, you know, and I expressed that to my soon-to-be ex-husband. I was like, you know, I feel like I learned everything I need to learn. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm just focused on me. I'm doing me. You know, a lot of this stemmed from, you know, I feel like my light just irritated his demons. I feel like it brought out a lot of things within him that he wasn't like facing, you know? And I was like, that's cool. Like, I know it's a lot, but like, I don't really like want to deal with that, you know? Like, and it was also like it was future faking. It was future faking. And I was like, I can't just like commit an indefinite amount of time to this, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, like I feel like I learned what I need to learn, like Deuce is cool. But at the time we had like things that we need to get sorted out. So I was like, I'm just focused on me. You know, I'm not out here trying to date nobody or nothing. Like, I'm just doing me. There's a few ways this could have went. It could have been like, I do me, and then, oh, all of a sudden, like, he's like, we're back in alignment, or like he's done the inner work, you know? Or it could have just been I outgrew him and went on with my life, you know? It happens. It is what it is. And I'll leave out the details, but I did enough. I definitely did enough. I didn't just give up on my marriage or something like that. Like, that's just not who I am. That's not how I am. I really gave it all I had, you know? That's why I was like, I'm content. I'm comfortable. I don't feel bad about letting this one go. But no, it very much turned into like this possessive thing, like obsession. At one point, he told me he felt like he owned me. I think his obsession and insecurity just got the best of him, and things went like super duper left. Things got very, very dark. Very dark. I'll let the story unfold how it unfolds, but I won't detail every little interaction over the course of freaking 5 years. You know what I mean? There's a lot to unpack, and of course there would be a clear picture, but I will recall one occurrence that I think paints the picture of, I think this is like the turning point. This is like the turning point for me with our interactions. So in short, one day, this is after months of me having the kids by myself every single day, no help, no car. Okay, so I'm burnt out, I'm tired. You know, I got it in me, but like I'm gonna do it, but like a lot of people couldn't do that for like a day or like a week, you know? So I'm over it. I want a break. So he comes home from being on the road. Pretty sure this is after he lost his job from like drinking on the truck and stuff. And I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure, either way. So at that point I needed like a 1 week vacation, but it's like I couldn't get that. So I got like as much of a break as I could. And so he has the kids and stuff, but I have to go cook for the kids because he doesn't know how to make rice or anything, and some more stuff. So, and these aren't things that I just like resented and didn't express. Like, I told him, like, I feel like you should know how to cook for our kids. Like, I shouldn't be like, the kids don't eat till he is not here, you know? So these are things that I expressed, and he said he was going to work on. He didn't. So either way, I had to like relinquish some of my break time to go cook for the kids because he wouldn't learn how to cook for his children. And regardless, basically there was one day where he was working on, I'm pretty sure, like trading or something, and in between jobs, my perspective was the responsible thing to do financially is like do that in the meantime, but we're already like just catching up on like bills from stuff that happened last year. So like there needs to be a safety net, there needs to be a guaranteed source of income. This was like an ego game for him. He just wanted to like, I guess like feel accomplished or something. So he wasn't really creating a safety net. But either way, he was like doing something with trading. So all day, being tired and burnt out, I have the kids by myself, which is cool. They're my kids. I'm not tripping off taking care of my kids, but I mean, like, they're not only my kids. So either way, it's been like hours and hours, like all day. So it's like around like 2 p.m. or something like that. I'm just throwing out numbers. This is probably like 2 p.m. or something. This was a while ago. This is months ago. And I go to the bathroom because he's like in the bathroom trading. I walk in the bathroom, there's a red candle, a green candle, he's in the tub with a whole bunch of herbs with his laptop, and there's a book on the counter called Love Spells. Interesting. So I was like, hey, like, when are we gonna trade? I was like, okay, whatever he's doing. I was like, whatever. So I was like, when are we gonna like trade out? Cause like I'm over it. He's like I'm busy right now, and I was like, okay, like I'll give you a little bit more time, right? So I come back like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours later or something, and I open the door. He comes up to the door, and I asked him too. I was like, like I don't understand, like why. Well, this is a different time where I asked him. I don't understand why people do like love spells and stuff on people, or like doing the weird stuff like putting stuff inside their food and stuff when they're in a relationship. Like I don't get it. Like why would you do that? Like if somebody just wants to be with you, they want to be with you. And he was like, well, for protection. That's a different, just thought I'd add that, but either way. So I came back a couple hours later. So I knock on the door, and he comes to the door, and he's like standing at the door, like opening it, like not letting me in. And he's like, and I was like, hey, like I'm ready to switch out. Like it's been a minute. I already fed the kids their dinner and stuff. Literally all you have to do is like just hang out with them in the living room. Like that's it, and let them wind down. You just have to sit in the living room with your kids. And it's crazy to me because like I can't imagine somebody saying like, hey, come help with your kids, and I'm like, no. Like he literally looked at me with like this cold blank stare and was like, no. And I was like, the fuck? I just went and laid on the bed. I was like, yeah, I guess they can put themselves down. Like I'm not doing this right now. I'm really not doing it. So I was laying on the bed, and he walked over to me, and he like got in my face, and he was like, if you don't listen to me, like you're not gonna get what you want. If you don't do what I'm telling you to do, like you're not gonna get what you want. And I was like, okay, so be it. Like I guess he was saying like we're not gonna have like the money we need or something. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but he left the room. And I say this is the turning point because as soon as he left the room, I looked up at the ceiling and I said, you know what, God will supply all of my needs according to his riches and his glory, and will. And yeah, I was just like, I'm not gonna get like bossed around and bullied, like, and get no help with my kids, like, over you allegedly making money with herbs in the tub and candles. Like, I'm not, really don't care. So I was like, I gave it to God, I don't care. But either way, he had came back in the room, and right when he had left the room, I was checking my email or something, and at that time, his email will always pop up before my email, and I saw something about his trading account. It said it wasn't looking good. It was something that wasn't looking good. So when he came in the room, I was like, hey, I just saw this email that said X, Y, and Z. Like, what does that mean? That does not sound good. And that was like the energy. Like, it wasn't like aggressive. It wasn't an attack. Like, you're telling me this is how you plan on providing for our family in the meantime while the whole court situation with his job is getting figured out. And, you know, it ain't looking good. So I feel like I have every single right to inquire about that and to receive clarity on that, right? So I didn't come at him sideways. He just like stormed off and like didn't answer my question. So I was like, okay. And I just laid on the bed. And while I'm laying on the bed, I'm on Threads or whatever, and I hear him talking about me to my children, to both. Like, he stormed off, and my kids are a lot like me, they're sensitive, so it's like I could feel like all of the energy shift as soon as he like stormed off and went in there. But I was like, whatever. So he was talking to my 5-year-old and was like, I guess he was like, mommy's being mean to me or something like that. And I was like, what the hell? What? I know the bully himself is not in there playing victim. So I was like, whatever. Then I heard him talking to my almost 2-year-old about me. A toddler, a 2-year-old. And for me, I'm not gonna go on my I'm a 5-star mom rant. Anybody who knows me is well aware. But insulting me as a mother or talking negatively to my children about me is like, you might as well just spit in my face. Like, that's enough to make me black out. I was like, one, like, why are you getting kids involved? This is like very unnecessary. So I was like, I gotta go deal with this. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna just sit here and talk crazy about me to my kids. So I was like, damn. So I went in there, I was like, what's your issue? Like, what's your problem? His justification, I was like, I asked him like why he was talking negatively about me to my kids. One, what he was saying was not true. And two, why are you talking about me to my kids? And three, why are you talking to a 2-year-old about anything? Like, what is wrong with you? And he was like, well, when Hero called me a liar, you didn't say anything. This was like months ago. We weren't like beefing or anything or having problems, like not for real. And it's crazy. God really will, for me, God has spoken through my children a lot. Literally, my 5-year-old, he would randomly start saying things like, Daddy's always playing tricks on us. And he said it so much, I couldn't like ignore it. And then one day we were all in the room together, and he said that like, Daddy's a liar, Daddy's always lying or something like that. And I didn't correct him. One, because it's true, and two, like, his dad was standing right there, and I'm like, so if you feel like you're not a liar, you can tell him that, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and try to defend you. Like, defend yourself. So that's what I told him. I was like, you just went out of your way to speak negatively about me to my children when I didn't do anything wrong. That is not the same thing as my son calling you a liar and you choosing to not defend yourself because you were standing right there. And there's a reason why you didn't defend yourself. If that were me, I would have been like, I'm not a liar, because I'm not. So it's like, it's just like this stupid, like, gaslighting, manipulation, avoiding accountability thing. I was like, yeah, no, whatever. So he tried it, and maybe, some words were said. And I'm okay with that, because, a lot of times I make decisions for my kids. Like, I'm like, you don't sit there and let somebody disrespect you and talk crazy to you. Like, no. So he brought it to the kids. You know what I mean? I cleared it up in front of the kids. And it's crazy because it's like, I could really sit here and air it out, but I didn't. So either way, that day, I remember when he was sitting at the kitchen table, I felt like I was looking the devil. I was literally looking at the devil straight in his eyes. That's how I felt. And that day, my life just changed. I say all that to say, like, hopefully it's very clear what this is. But soon after that, I guess the email that I interpreted about the financial situation, I had interpreted correctly, because he went out of the city to DoorDash because our city isn't super busy. So he went to go DoorDash or whatever for the monies. So either way, I think he was gone for like, I'm pretty sure months after that. But yeah, like, he tried like all these weird things that I couldn't even summarize in a video to maintain control of the situation through threats, intimidation, manipulation, gaslighting, all this stuff. And at some point while he was gone for that few months, he just like withheld finances and stuff. And this wasn't like, oh, I told him like, I'm done, I want a divorce, and he's like, all right, well, you do you and I do me, and like, we'll figure it out like that. He's like, no, like, I understand, like, I'm working on myself, I want to do better, like, I still like I want to be together, like, don't worry about things, I'm taking care of everything, don't worry about the finances, just focus on the kids. Like, this wasn't like he told me go figure it out, or said like I don't care, like I'm done. He just like lied to my face and said like you don't have to worry about anything. But I in fact had things to worry about, which I came to realize over months when he would do things like withhold finances. And I wasn't even like, my main focus at the time was emotional and financial stability. That's it. Like, I was just focusing on myself. I was definitely not thinking about dating or anything of the sort. Like, I was just focused on me and like stability and making sure my kids have what they need. That's all I was worried about. So like I'm focused on stability, and I remember at one time we were texting about something about the kids, and like he said something like about the new women in his life who love him, and I was like, what? Like, it's not like my feelings are hurt, because it's like this is the same man, like, and I'm not even trying to like toot my own horn, because to me it's actually kind of like weird and like overwhelming, but he's like literally worships the ground I walk on. Like, I can't be intimidated by other women. Like, this man will drink my sweat. Like, he has told me that he views me as a god, like puts me on this outer worldly like pedestal or something. So I'm just like, okay, to me. And I even told him, I'll probably show the messages, but I was like, I'm not even tripping off that. I don't care. I've already let it be known, like I'm done. But like the fact that you're talking about women right now when like we're behind on bills is like, it's absurd. It's literally absurd. But yeah, I was just focused on stability. And I had no interest in talking in circles and the manipulation tactics and gaslighting and either begging or bullying somebody to get it together. Like, I had no interest whatsoever. And at some point, like, I just stopped even asking for help. Like, not even necessarily like help, but this, like, he made it very clear, I intend to keep providing. That's always been the agreement. That's a completely different conversation as far as like our roles within the household and the relationship that we both agreed to and that we both wanted in a very particular way. At one point, I even was like, with his job situation, I was like, look, he didn't go to college or anything, like, so it's like I have a lot of experience and a lot of qualifications to where like I can just wean the baby off of breast milk and I can go apply for a job. Like, either way, the money has to be got. And he was like, no, like, I got it, don't worry about X, Y, and Z. So either way, at some point, like, I wasn't even like calling about like things that we needed for the kids, because one time my son was like on his last pack of wipes and he was out of town doing the DoorDash thing. Allegedly, I looked at his DoorDash account one time and he told me, like, I'd call him and he'd be like, oh, I'm busy DoorDashing. And I looked back, this would be like for days. And I looked back on the DoorDash account for those days and he had not DoorDashed at all. So he was just lying to me, telling me he was DoorDashing and he was out of town. So I called about wipes one day and he didn't answer my call. I think I called like a whole bunch of times because I'm like, we need wipes. And I was waiting for money that was supposed to be deposited into my account. It was like delayed, whatever. And I also had money that I had to go, it was a whole bunch of stuff. So either way, I was calling him about the wipes and he wasn't picking up. So I texted him, he read my message and turned his phone off. Like, I was like, our almost 2-year-old, I'm trying not to say their names, is about to be out of wipes, like completely. He read my message, turned his phone off. So I texted, I made a group chat with, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if there was like something going on or if he was just out of being weird. I didn't know. So I made a group chat with his grandmother, his sister, his father, and his brother. I was like, hey, has anybody talked to him? I messaged him about my son needing wipes or whatever. Like, and these are people I know. Like, I'm not just texting out of nowhere. And I was like, have y'all talked to him? Because like my almost 2-year, I keep trying not to say his name, is almost out of wipes. Yeah, so I sent that message in the group chat and not one person in his family responded. So I was like, cool, bet. Like, I'm not tripping off of it. So I'm like, and this is like, I'm telling you, like, I'm like super like locked in. So I'm like, God, I know you see this. Like, what do you want me? What do you want? But either way, it got figured out. So, because I'm telling you, it's always taken care of. Even when I don't look like it, even when people act weird, it's always taken care of. The baby had wipes. He didn't respond. He did whatever. Everybody in his family didn't respond. But either way, my baby had wipes. These last two quote-unquote stories that I've recalled are basically like me trying to exemplify what I feel were his last like physical attempts to like maintain control or to like bully me or intimidate me or something, simply because I guess he just felt like he didn't own me anymore. And at that point, I think he just resorted to drastic measures. And you know, I had seen him do things with candles and herbs, and this was not the case when we first met. Like, this is not what I signed up for. But I had seen him do things with, like, I think just like he needed more control, so he started adopting these things. But either way, I had seen him work with candles and herbs and altars and stuff like that. At one point, he had even told me that he was working with Papa Legba, which you could describe as like a trickster spirit. I even seen him do things like take blood from my almost 5-year-old's nose and place it on an altar. So a lot of things. I am also well aware that other people were involved in these dark spiritual practices, these spiritual attacks on me, as well as me and my children's stability. But for the sake of time, I will leave that there. Either way, there was a ton of not only physical, but spiritual, mental, psychological manipulation. In terms of spiritual manipulation, I won't get too deep into it, again, for the sake of time. However, lots of spell work, moon magic, chaos magic, necromancy, root work, binding rituals through use of bodily fluids, as well as things that people don't even consider to be spell work, like gaslighting. When you're gaslighting, you are attempting to alter somebody's reality. When you're gaslighting, you're casting an illusion. Things like gossiping is spell work as well. You know, the classic smear campaign that the narcissist tends to go about as a last resort, that is a form of spell work. You're trying to alter people's perception. So yeah, I'll spare the specifics for the sake of time. It would take too long to break all of that down, as well as how I became aware of those things. I just think that my intelligence, my intuition, and God's protection over my life as well as my children's was drastically underestimated. Yeah, all of these spiritual attacks and whatnot, and the bippity boppity boo, yada da, like it really just pushed me even closer to God. I was already very close to, I won't say very close to God, but I was already close to God. I've always felt protected. I just didn't understand it. It's not something I spoke about a lot because to me it's like personal. It's sacred, you know, I don't talk about things like that, but it just made me lock in more. Like, I'm literally, like, I have 2 kids by myself for months, enduring spiritual attacks relentlessly. Like, the support that was, I guess you could say promised to me, just like ripped from under me, and just like trusting in God and allowing God to lead me. There was a lot of times where, like, bro, like, I just like went to the bathroom and like just bawled my eyes out. Just a lot of healing, a lot of learning, and went straight back to the kids. Like nothing happened. Like at the end of the day, it's like I look at my kids, bro. I got up every single day and looked at my kids like I look at my kids and I can't fold. Like, I can't fold. That's what I think when I look at my kids, is I can't fold. And God really does give his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. It's hard out here. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. Don't claim to be. And I've been through a lot, and it was so hard. And it's crazy because it's like, I just feel like you wouldn't even imagine the things that I've been through over the past year just based on how I am. And it's nothing but the grace of God. I had a dream that he tried to take everything from me, and I was like, what? Blah, blah, blah. And I was led to a room, and I was like almost like on an operating table, and there was a whole bunch of angels surrounding me, healing me, helping me heal. So I also had dreams of like him trying to offer things to me in my dreams, like astral travel and stuff. Trying to have sexual encounters with me in my dreams that I had to reject. A whole bunch of crazy things. God spoke to me in my dreams. My ancestors spoke to me through my dreams, and I just locked in, like, through the absolute hardest part of my life ever. And I've been through a lot, so that's a lot. Like, for me to say this is the hardest, like, I've been through so much, people wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. God helped me. God protected me and my children. God led me. God provided for me and my children. This was very much a failed humiliation ritual of some sort. I guess I was supposed to just run back and be broke and destitute and busted and begging for help or something of the sort. But I just turned to God. I turned inwards, and it wasn't easy. But God didn't disappoint, you know? And to me, it's like, if I had a choice to go through it again or to not, I would go through it again. That, like, was the catalyst to, like, my spiritual ascension and awareness of things going around me. I unlocked my spiritual gifts. Like, my intuition is, like, through the roof. I'm, like, stupid sidekick. Like, I feel like I, earned my superpowers or something. Like, I earned my little badge or something. Like, I'm not really, I just took the lessons. It is what it is. I don't take it all personally. You know, I think that it's not easy when God chooses you to break generational curses and to heal your bloodline and clear out past life karma and all that stuff. You know, it's not easy, to say the least. But if it gotta be me, I'm gonna wear that with honor. All of this showed me I am truly blessed. I am truly highly favored. God does not play about me. Therefore, the angels do not play about me. Even beings in lower realms do not play about me or my kids. My ancestors definitely don't play about me, and I don't even know why anybody thought this was a game to begin with, especially with children involved. But I just don't even know why games were played in the first place. Like, for what? All of this played out within the course of the last year or so, and the spiritual attack's probably around like March or something like that. But yeah, the whole time God just led me. Like, I just got up every day, like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? Like, okay. And I did that. You know, I was very much, at the end of this, I got my well done, thy good and faithful servant, 100%. A lot of times when God tells you to do things, it doesn't make sense to people around you, and sometimes it don't even make sense to you, you know, but I just followed God's instructions, and he kept me aware of everything going on around me. And yeah, like, some days I was led to deliver messages, whether that be through a collective tarot reading or just a channeled message. Some days the angels dropped melodies and I wrote a couple of songs. Some days I just listened to gospel music and hung out. Some days I just cleaned. Like, I just did whatever God told me to do. And there were plenty of times where I was like, okay, God, but like, you see, like, this bill is like due, right? And it's like, God's like, that's lightweight, like, go make a TikTok or something, like, you're good. And I'm like, but you see, like, it's tomorrow. And God's like, no, you're good. So for months I had no job. God paid every single last one of my bills and provided food, all the basic needs for me and my kids. So I hope this is like helps people understand that like everybody is truly a vessel. Everything is a vessel, and it's like God is just providing through things, and nobody can take away anything that God is trying to give you. Nothing can withhold anything that God has for you. It's not like people may think that they're bigger than the program, but they're not. If God can take care of me and my kids for months throughout all of this stuff, really like almost a year, and I did not have a job, a traditional job. God can take care of you. These things are lightweight to God, you know? There's plenty of times where like miracles, I woke up to like crazy amounts of money out of nowhere. I was not expecting it from people and places and things I was not expecting it from. But I got forced into doing a trust fall with God, with the universe. I got forced to trust fall. And it's crazy because around this time, my almost 2-year-old, he just started randomly trust falling. Like, he would literally just stand in front of me and just fall back, like, catch me. Essentially, I just was on God's payroll. And for months, my soon-to-be ex-husband did not pay one bill, did not buy any groceries or anything, didn't call and speak to the kids, which he used to do like all the time. He didn't call and talk to the kids. He didn't call me and ask if they needed anything or anything. And like, from his perspective, like, I don't have no job. So it's like, he just, for months, God was just providing and continues to do so. But yeah, so I'm starting a new part of my journey. You know, we're past that, but you know, that's just my story. But recently I moved because I could only afford like my half of the rent. He didn't pay anything. My soon-to-be ex-husband had told me that he was covering the rent, paying the rent for months, but was not. He purposely intended to leave me and my children with no place to live, homeless, just broke, destitute, begging him for help. But you know, God had other plans, and I really hope that my story, my testimony, shows people that God will come through no matter what. No matter what. Right now, my current focus is building stable streams of income for me and my children. I have a degree in psychology. I've considered going back to school. I'm definitely focusing on my music. At one point during all this stuff happening, I was working with a nonprofit organization called Grassroots Child Care Co-op, and I loved it. Like, I was learning grant writing, I was planning content and stuff. I was just like elated. Like, I was like so fired up. And all this stuff happened. I had to lock in. I had to protect me and my children, you know, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. I had to step down, and I bawled my eyes out. That one broke me. Like, that was the last thing I wanted to do, was give that up. But regardless, I'm thinking about making content, maybe just like, definitely, that's the other thing too. Like, outside of music, I write in general. I do poetry. I've definitely got a few books in me, if not more. But I'm thinking about doing content just like for fun, but also like just sharing the knowledge and the wisdom that God has given me at the ripe age of 26. Like, I can't believe I'm really 26. Like, to me, that's so young for me to have learned and grown so much. But I'm a Pisces, so I mean, yeah, I thought about also like sharing recipes and stuff, but right now the budget's tight, and I don't think people want to see me make rice and beans every day. So maybe once the budget is a little better, I'll show some recipes and stuff. I have some I have a lot of ideas. I just want to make a plan and figure it out. I really want to build community, like-minded people, and, you know, just do whatever God has me to do. Like, that's what I'm on right now. Past like 6 months or so, I've gotten very, very good at reading tarot. So I've thought about starting a channel. I have posted some readings on my TikTok and some other content. So yeah, but my TikTok is Talia Deja. If you want to listen to my music, it's Talia Deja. Thank you for watching. Feel free to give a like for support. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to subscribe. Ask me any questions. I'm an open book for the most part. So stay tuned, because I just don't think this is gonna be like my first and last YouTube video. I've been thinking about making a YouTube for a minute. So if you want to get to know me and vibe out, tag along. But yeah, thanks for watching. I can't believe I got through this whole video while my son was down for his nap. I'm very grateful. I'm starving. Sometimes when God has me speak, he leads me to fast, so my vessel is clear, but I've been wanting chips for 3 hours, so I'm about to go eat some chips.